Sweet darling, that ain't the way you make love. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown. You've been, I hear you in the background. Ooh, I hear you in the background. I hear you in the background. Ooh, I hear you in the background. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown.
Peace.
Hey, peace, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
boys
hey,
and girls. What's going
One
on?
love.
What's up?
What's
We
up,
welcome you
everybody?
to another podcast, the BackAlley Fellas
23rd.
Podcast, 23rd.
Always a pleasure.
Stand up. I'm one-third of your host, Mike D. I'm with my brother, Big Pat, brother Six. We got some special guests that we'll introduce a little later on. But we always like to say, stand up, 23rd Street, Louisville, Kentucky, always. And brother
Always.
Six, who we always dedicate this thing to.
Shout out to Fat Blood,
One time,
One
Reggie
love,
Smith,
one time.
one love,
Yeah.
our
Rest in
beloved
peace,
brother.
brother.
Rest
the
in peace.
family.
Always, always. Yo, anyway, we like to thank everyone for tuning in. If you're a first time listener, last time listener, you've been tuning in. We want to thank you. We want to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to join in to the podcast. We having a good time. It's just brothers just talking to one another about a lot of different subjects. And our biggest thing is that we want you to continue those conversations with your friends, with your family. But what I want to kick it off real quick is to brother Pat. How you doing, beloved?
Hey man, always blessed. Any day above ground's a great day. Still dealing with the little side effects of that COVID, man. But you know, I'm taking it one day at a time. How about you?
I can't complain, brother Six. How you doing, beloved? I see you got that Steelers hat on, looking mad.
Oh man, almost perfect, brother. Almost perfect, brother.
Good.
You see what I'm
good.
rocking? Y'all see
Yeah,
it?
yes, sir.
No
yes,
doubt
sir.
about it, man.
Yes,
Everything
sir.
is good, man. Like I said, I'm back in the Carolinas. It's all warm. It's all nice here, so I ain't got no complaint. Hell, y'all wouldn't listen anyway. So
It's all good. So check this out. What we typically do is we kind of get into it, but because we got some special guests, we want to get into our shenanigans. They don't know about this thing, but you know, as we come on, you know, one of the things that we do is we try to ask everyone, as a little libation, we always ask, what's in your cup? It can be some water, it can be cranberry juice, it can be a little something else. And it can be whatever you got, but we just want to know. So send us what you got in your cup. We'll try some of those things out. But brother Six, what do you have in
Yes,
your
sir.
cup today?
I got some tea today.
Just regular
I'm
tea?
doing something different this week, and I'm gonna tell you why it's interesting, because what we talking about, my habits change up this week.
Okay, that's what it
And
is.
there we
That's
are.
what it is.
So I'll start off with this. Since I don't have nothing, I'm gonna start off with this. Pat, what you got?
What you got?
Shocked my system with all that daggone electrolytes and all that water I was drinking. So this week I'm drinking some tea. It just happens to be from Long Island.
Okay.
And
You
I
got a
mixed
little.
up, you know, this time I mixed some fresh pineapples in there and it gave it a little twist.
No now laters?
No. These are
Okay, because last week you did some now
That's the
later.
healthy kind,
Yeah,
fresh
okay,
fruit.
so you got a little health in there. Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you,
yeah.
brothers, I'm actually sipping on cranberry juice with a little lime juice. I'm just taking it easy,
Okay.
you know, because we dealing with some health. I thought about going to that 20 grand, but I was like, nah, I want to make sure that I'm focused. So that being said, we got a toast that we hope that you will continue to go on. So if you got a cup, raise your cup. And June, cut that brother Six, cut that music. And what we gonna do is we gonna get right into it. So brother Pat, if you can, lead us off with the toast.
All right. Bottles, glasses, cups that are plastic. Alleyways backwards, perfection takes practice. Friendship turned kinship, 2/3 of the street dynastic.
It's the brotherhood from the neighborhood. This podcast is going to be a classic. Divine state of mind, a movement sublime. On the rocks, brother, give me something strong.
I can give you a mixer, a slice of lime. Put your drink up. Now let's link up. Smell love in this atmosphere. Peace and salutations, brothers and sisters, the fellas. We in here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got some special guests. If you tuned in not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, we had, brother Marty Goins, or what I like to call Pops, my dad, my father-in-law. And Mr. Goins is the founder and CEO of Quorum Innovations and also the founder of a nonprofit, Eternal Now Ministries. And like I said, he's, my father-in-law. I affectionately call him dad because that's just a relationship that we have with one another. And I think we had a great conversation last time, and I wanted to bring him on. And then I also have and brother Pat and Six. Thank you so much for allowing me to bring these individuals on.
It's a pleasure. I was looking forward to it. Brother Goins dropped some.
Love to have it.
Yes, indeed.
If he was a little older, I was a little younger, I'd call him Pops too.
you more than welcome. Right. And then I have a friend, a mentor. I also would say like a big brother to me as well. Mr. Ken Barlow, who's the VP for Community Relations and Diversity at Cathedral High School of Indianapolis, a graduate of the University of Notre Dame. Ken, was you I can't remember, were you All-American in Notre Dame?
I was an honorable mention All-American, but I was a first round draft pick. Just
football,
basketball. Basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I told them I could play some tight end, but they didn't want to listen to him.
I think the interesting conversation one day we had to bring you on again is that you were drafted by the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken, and on draft night they traded you to the Hawks.
Yeah.
And based on the compensation that they were trying to do, you decided to go overseas instead of going to the Hawks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I was actually just talking to someone about that today. That was the path not likely traveled. It was most guys are trying to get drafted and by all means will sign any contract in front of them, but I got drafted and they offered me a guaranteed deal and I had to pass. And you never know how that works out or how you rub people the wrong way, but the long and short of it is it all worked out well for me. I mean, I went to Europe and won 12 championships in 16 years, which,
look at you now. Look at you.
Yeah. So you got a couple of cats that hoop, and you got a couple of people that play basketball that's on this podcast. So
wait, who you referring to?
Well, if you answer them, I might be talking about you. My pops, I might be talking about you.
Well, check this out, though. Hey, Mike, I want to ask you a question. You heard anything out of the back alley?
Absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. What we're going to talk about today is another extension of health. And we want to focus it around men's health, specifically Black men's health in our community, and just overall, just health as a whole for our community. And I felt like the conversation that we had, like Pat talked about the last time when we kind of talked about the COVID, it was a lot. And I wanted to bring Dad back in, but having a conversation with Ken, we talked the other day and he talked about, his situation and what he was able to do. And I thought, instead of me not necessarily playing the antagonistic role, but having different views, I thought it would be great to not only hear his side of the story and kind of highlight some areas where I think sometimes this can happen. And I know, Dad, you talked about a couple of things about the science and where we at. but I think sometimes, science, we can be focused so much on and rely so much on certain Western philosophies that we sometimes forget about some other things that can be beneficial. So with that being said, I like to we typically throw it out to brother Pat and Six, but if you don't mind, brothers, I would like to pass it to Ken to kind of get him to do that, and from that we can open up our conversation if we can. Okay, so brother Ken, yeah, if you walk, we'll walk with you on this one.
All right. And no, I appreciate it. Good to see you brothers again, man. It's really good to be in the fellowship, man. I can't say how much I appreciate this invitation and just get a chance to say a few words. Yeah, brother Michael and I had a conversation. Really, we were working on some other things for Black History Month, and kind of got into my health, which about this time last year I was really in a bad way. Actually, kind of happened quickly like this. I went to work one day. I wasn't feeling well over the weekend, but I went to work on a Monday and felt like I was moving in mud and didn't really know why. So I was trying to coach some kids with this Black History program, and 2 minutes into the program, I had to sit down because I was that exhausted. I couldn't really move. So long story short, that by lunchtime that day, I decided to go to a med check to see, hey, something's going on here because I'm not really feeling anything. And I went there, and the doctor told me, you need to go to the emergency room right away. Your blood sugar is through the roof. And so I didn't really take the doctor's advice. I went back to work because I had a couple meetings. And, like most of us, if it's one thing that I learned is we definitely got to go see the doctor. We got to check up on ourselves to at least know what's going on. But I went back to work, and then I went to the hospital, went to the emergency room. They checked all my vitals, and ultimately the emergency room doctor told me, we're going to have to take you to ICU. You in such bad shape, your heart might stop anytime tonight. And if your heart stopped, what do you want us to tell your wife? And so that was a very shocking question. But I told him, I said, listen, just tell her I love her, of course, but that's kind of really tragic news to tell me my heart may stop. But anyway, at that time, they started giving me some intravenous medicine, and I could feel it like going to work on my body. So I told the doctor, I said, listen, in about 30 minutes, where my blood sugar is, it's going to be cut in half in about 30 minutes. But, I was just talking, but I was actually kind of serious because I started feeling better right away. And so long story short, she didn't believe me, but in 30 minutes, sure enough, my blood sugar cut in half. So they didn't have to take me to ICU. They took me to a regular room. Come to find out, I was a type 2 diabetic, primarily from not taking care of myself and not really going to the doctor. Hadn't really been to the doctor in about 8 years. But the only thing I knew about diabetes was people that I saw at a distance in my family taking insulin shots daily, poking themselves in the stomach or in the leg, but not really quite understanding. So I actually thought I was on the path to really sticking myself for the rest of my life. That was day one. The doctors gave me a program. They said, okay, this is when I got released out of hospital in 2 days. This is what you need to do. You need to take this insulin shot. You need to take this metformin. If your blood sugar stays above 200, take this other shot, yada, yada, yada. So I was taking 2 shots a day, taking 4 pills a day for about 2 weeks. It's about this time, right before COVID hit. And my cousin, who's a diabetic nurse from Detroit, I hadn't seen her. I only see her at our family reunions, but I knew she was a nurse. I didn't know she was a diabetic nurse. Anyway, I went over to my mother's house because I was trying to be disciplined and do my due diligence about taking care of my health. So she said, meet me over your mother's house. So I did, but I took my dinner with me. And so it kind of opened her eyes, and she said, wow, Ken, you bringing your dinner with you? She goes, that's good. So where are your numbers? So I said, my blood sugar is about 118, which is not bad. And that was in a matter of 2 weeks. She's like, it's about 118. She goes, what you doing? I said, well, I'm taking this 2 shots. I'm taking this 1 shot now. I'm taking these pills. So she told me to go cold turkey. She said, look, don't take that shot tomorrow. And it made me panic, Mike. I mean, brothers, I was like, well, doctors say take the shot. I'm going to take the shot. She said, no, listen, if you're at 120, don't take it. She said, if it goes back up, over 200, take the shot. But if it don't take it. I wasn't that courageous. So I just, in a matter of 3 days, I kind of weaned myself off the medicine. I took off about 10 units. I took off another 10 units, and I took off 20 units. I was on 0, and my blood sugar was still 120. So I was like, oh shoot, she was right. So I called my doctor and I told him, I said, hey, this and this and this, So he was telling me basically keep taking the shot. Anyway, my blood sugar was staying constant. And then to make a long story short, that was in like March, like middle March. So I figured out, hey, if I eat right, if I drink my 80 ounces of water, if I get my exercise in, I may get a hold of this thing. So anyway, my blood sugar kept dropping. And as my blood sugar kept dropping, I kept taking the medicine off, even though the doctor didn't tell me. But in the meantime, I had to stop doing my exercise because I had torn my lower abdominal muscle, and I had a hernia. So I couldn't exercise, had to go to see a surgeon to get my hernia fixed because I was in bad shape. And the hernia surgeon said, listen, you can't come in here and get this surgery taking the metformin. Now, at that point, that was early July, I was down on to 1 pill. So I went from 4 pills, 2 shots a day down to 1 pill. Without the doctor telling me that. I mean, so anyway, I went in, I had the surgery, I came out of surgery, and the doctor said, well, the surgeon said you can start your metformin back up tomorrow. But I decided, well, I'm not gonna start up, I'm gonna see what my blood sugar does. And my blood sugar was at the time staying down around about 105. So it didn't move. So I stopped taking the medicine. I didn't get to see my doctor again, the endocrinologist who handles the diabetes, until August. So it's been 6 months since I've seen him. I went back in, and my A1C, if you guys know anything about that, my A1C in February was 11.8. In August, it was 6.4. And the doctor told me, hey, listen, I know you're doing better, but I need you to get back on that medicine. I said, so how you want me to do that? He said, for the next week, take 1 pill. After the week, bump it up to 2 pills. And I looked at him like, I don't really understand that. If I'm doing better, why are you telling me to take this medicine? So I decided not to take it. I didn't take it, picked back up on my exercise, kept eating right 3 times a day, fasting every night from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock every morning. Went back to the doctor in November, and my blood sugar, my A1C was down to 5.8. And anyway, the point to it is, I've been trying to tell everybody that, I had to change my mentality in terms of taking care of myself, but I had to change my mentality on really what the doctor was really informing me with, because type 2 diabetes is very manageable. And I didn't even know that. I had seen people all my life who had been slaves to that insulin needle and never getting off that insulin needle because they didn't really know what else to do. And so today, I go actually to the doctor tomorrow. But just to give you an example today, my blood sugar today, I took it 3 times already. My blood sugar was averaging 90, which is almost like it was when I was playing ball at Notre Dame. So, I guess the moral to the story is, it's okay to listen to your doctors and give you some instructions, but it's also okay, because what I subsequently did was went out and read a couple books. I looked at a couple documentaries and found out that, there's a lot of poison in the food that we eating, for one thing, but there's a lot of healing in our bodies that can take care of itself if you manage yourself. So Brother Marty, in terms of a spiritual guide, I went to the book of Daniel, the 1st chapter, when he became a slave in Babylon, and he was told to eat the meat of King Nebuchadnezzar.
I remember.
He said, listen, I'm gonna eat these, bring me vegetables and bring me water, and in 10 days you tell me how I'm looking. And the Bible say he was looking with better continence than everybody else that was eating all the other stuff. So,
exactly.
And so I was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna try that. That's what I'm gonna try. And so that's what I've been doing for the last year. I'm not trying to be real spooky or anything, but the truth of the matter is we come from dust. So I figure, let me eat some stuff that's coming out the dust to kind of heal my body. So that's really what I've been doing, man. I've been trying to eat more plant-based foods. I rarely do I eat meat, but I've been eating fish like probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, and just for the protein. And put it this way, I tell you what happened. If you guys know, you guys look like you've been nine, you know a little something about diabetes, man. I literally was given a couple speeches, and the font that I had on my notes was on 24. And I was wearing glasses, and I ain't got on no glasses today, man. I don't even need glasses when I go outside. So my vision cleared up. Listen, I'm gonna say it like this: my wife loved me a little bit better.
I know where you at. I know where you at.
I mean, but
So-
you know, I say that in gist, but truthfully, in terms of strengthening your body, really naturally, I mean, there are things. Look, I'm more excited now about just reading more information because, and I'm not really being critical of the doctor, because I think the doctor is doing what he's been taught to do, right? And that's pretty much push the medicine and not really treat the root of the problem, but he's treating the fruit of the problem in this case. You know, so I found out that the body can actually heal itself, particularly if you give it a chance. So I stopped putting so much food in my mouth at night. Like now, I won't eat again till tomorrow morning after 7 o'clock. So you give your body a chance to regenerate itself. So all of that, what they call it, insulin resistance, where you had those fat deposits that's blocking your cells, where you can't push the insulin into your your red blood cells. You know, I think my body is eating that stuff up. I mean, because I'm eating like from the earth. I'm drinking the water from the earth, and I'm allowing my body to so I just pray and meditate at night. And anyway, found a lot of healing in it, man. It's listen, I can see, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can sit here and talk to you brothers about just being able to see, man, and go outside and be able to read stuff, because I had my glasses on 24/7.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, I could tell you from a fat, insistent person, I'm trying to get to a level of resistance, but you know what I'm saying? I actually went back a little bit, but I need to, you know, this is a story that kind of gives me some motivation, and I really wanted, you know, for Brother Six's sake, you know, to kind of talk a little bit about that or whatever. But I wanted to give Pat and then Six and then Pops. I know I'm gonna get to you as well. Brother Pat, what do you have to add, take, build on, whatever?
You know, in some instances, overall, I agree with him, because it actually kind of happened for me too, because I was borderline and I had to lose some weight, and they were trying to give me the insulin shots and everything. I never got to the insulin shots, but they told me to manage my diet, and diet and exercise did help. Now, the issue that I have now is I can't hardly exercise now because my back and stuff is so bad, but I could do better with the eating. But he's right on that. The only thing that I would add is, first of all, I'm glad that happened for you. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Thank God that it happened. But sometimes people's bodies don't react like that. So somebody else, it might not, you know, it's always a good thing, but they might not get the same results. Let me say, or as fast. Like me, I can exercise and diet, and the last time I lost 68 pounds in less than 6 weeks. Because once I start exercising, I start eating right, weight just falls off me.
Yep.
My problem is not losing the weight. My problem is keeping it off. I can lose it. And I too play basketball too. I played at Murray.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I can't, I guess, I don't know. Junior says my metabolism is fast because I stay basically at the same weight. I don't really pick up a whole lot of that. But I do agree that it's healthier, and exercising can do a lot more than a lot of the medicine. It can help you. Your body has natural healing processes.
Yeah.
Brother Six, what you got?
It's very interesting, brother. Peace to you, God, and congratulations. And I know the work has just begun for you. The praise be to Allah for that, because I'm just going to give a testimony, brother, on what you've done and how you set this meeting for me. and it's a pleasure having you on. And I believe that there are no accidents. This is purposely done. And I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you my story. And for you viewers and listeners out there, this is personal, but that's what we're doing. I was once in the nation. In the nation, we don't eat between just. I'm just kind of paraphrasing, trying to make my way through it so it won't be long-winded. In the nation, we eat between 6 and 8 every day, just one meal a day. Some people say that was crazy, but I did it, and that was my best time that I ever felt real good, you know. And we didn't eat anything but fish. We ate rice and we ate bean soup, you know, and those type of things. And we drank water and we drank milk.
Whole milk.
That was it. That was one of my best times. No, actually,
they didn't do the Navy beans and whole milk.
No, I had to go to Indiana, Mike, to get the milk I was drinking because I was drinking raw milk. Now, what difference?
Okay, but no, you said raw milk, the raw milk and the Navy beans, right? In the Navy beans, yeah. So, Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Muhammad talked about that.
Listen to the story, bro. So, I go back. I'm no longer active. I'm still a member, but I'm no longer active in the nation. We move forward to 2 years ago. I'm at work. I'm on the line. I'm a machine operator. I'm making brakes. I'm breaking out brake pads. So that whole day, that morning when I woke up, my head was spinning. And it just spinning. I thought maybe it was my blood pressure. Now I got blood pressure and the diabetes, and I got asthma. So I'm kind of messed up at a young age. So anyway, so I'm at work. My head is spinning. About time lunch comes, I go to the medic. I sit down. She take my blood pressure. My blood pressure was out the roof. It was 208 over 176 is what it was. So of course I had to go to the emergency room. And that was the reason. I was like, wow, that's why my head is spinning. And I was like, well, I don't want to leave work because I need today to pay for my vacation coming up. She said, no, you need to go now. I couldn't drive, so I had to have somebody come out and get me. They take me to the doctor. Sure enough, I go in, they run all their tests, take my vitals. I'm type 2 diabetes. I'll go in, my blood sugar is 588. So I stay in the hospital, coming here on my birthday for a whole week. I get out, they put me on 2 shots, 40 in the morning, 40 at night, 3 shots during the day, metformin, my blood pressure pill, pill to keep the water off of me, cholesterol pill, and my asthma pump and a breathing treatment. So these are the medicines I was taking. So I get to the point to where I'm at now. It's interesting, brother, because that 40 is now at 20. My 3 shots a day are down to 1. I'm down to 2 meals a day. I'm gonna start detoxing this week. And I could see what you're talking about, brother, because I'm in the same situation in the boat. And by listening to you, giving me some advice and just how you did it. And like me and brother Mike was talking, it might not work for me, but it's worth trying. And if it's going to save my life, then I'm willing to do that, brother, because I'm on that path. And then for you to come and say, hey, brother, you're on the right path, you're doing right, without you even knowing. I just met you, brother. Brother, I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. Because just naturally, I'm headed in that direction without even talking to my doctor. All I did was educate myself on diabetes and what must be done. My hard head, though, how I got there, drinking, smoking. When we lose this weight, we're gonna keep it off.
Right.
But
you kind of breaking up.
it's getting back to what I was doing. I'm done too right there, because I just want to say thank you to that brother. You know, like I said, man, he's God sent, because you know, Mike told me that you had a diabetes experience, but I didn't know it was the same, exactly the same. My eyesight is blurry, and you know, I don't wear glasses as much, but my eyesight is blurry. I keep telling my brother I'll get my eyesight checked, and you just said that's what it's from. It's from the diabetes, and I did this, and now I can see better. I know I have to stop it. I got to get back to my 1 minute.
He got his text fine about 24 too.
What's that?
Huh?
He got his text fine about 24. I looked at his phone the other day. His phone was this big. I said, about 3 words. Everything got slow.
It looked like a big sign.
But you see how interesting that is, brother? Because I mean, it was exactly the same way, and I'm headed in that path, but I just want thank you for some guidance that you know, you never know who you touch, man.
And that's why
beautiful. All you listeners out there, he's telling the truth, man. I'm a living witness of it. I've been through. I just met this brother tonight, and what he's teaching on is absolutely working in this.
well, you know, we're gonna continue, you
Just
know,
because
6.
one person tells
You
you
keep
something,
freezing.
don't.
Yeah, you keep freezing. So I that's one of the reasons that I brought in, and Dad, I want to come to you because I knew that, and I thought that it would work, and you know, as we here to always connect one another, as Black men to support one another to get information. Now I don't know who we gonna be able to find to get you from transforming from a damn Optimus Prime to something like that, because you keep freezing up. We gonna have to either get you some Reynolds wrap to put some foil on your damn antennas, or give you some more quarters.
It's gotta be the operator. Listen, y'all probably don't know this. He's sitting right about 2 feet from me. Ain't nothing wrong with mine.
We gonna get some quarters for you, 6.
No, he got me in this cubby hole like a little present. I really wanted to tell y'all help me. I was very right help me.
You stupid. You need help?
Brother Goins is in the medical field, so I'm really interested on his take on this.
Yeah, we gonna get you help. We gonna send you. Send me the address, 6. I got you, brother. Go ahead, Pops. What you got?
Well, you know, first of all, man, you know, it is such a joy to be in the presence of you brothers. I was telling my son, I'm like, man, your podcast, your format, just the raw, you know, sharing is so inspiring. I mean, it really, 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 really. I walked away with a lot of insight, listening to the different views. So I'm just so grateful to be back. Couple of things have developed since the last time that I was on the show, and I'll share that with you. But I want to start out and kind of set a foundation for a couple of things. Ken, first of all, you know I love you, man. I'm really, really happy to hear that you have progressed so well. I want to start out with something that you said. As Mike mentioned to you, I founded a foundation called Eternal Now Ministries, and our theme is mind, body, and spirit. Okay. Now this comes from my own personal experience with science. Okay. My studies in psychology and my spiritual growth from since I was a little kid. And one of the things that I've come to understand is that you have to, first of all, make sure you kind of separate and identify what you're talking about in the context you're talking about, and realize that what I found is that there is continuity and collaboration between the mind, the body, and the spirit. You spoke about the body having the self-healing properties, and I love that scripture in Daniel. I will read it. I love it, and I want to note something. First of all, science is, and I'm not going to try to be real politically correct in my language. I'm gonna put it like this: science is ordained by God. In fact, science, the word science, is a word that we ascribe to a phenomenon that God created, and that is the ability, God-given ability to us to begin to comprehend and understand the natural process of life in the body and the mind. That's science. Science is a study. Okay, it's not a thing that just is static. Okay, it's a gift, and so we know in our society today, people like to try to use science as a standalone entity, and that anytime you think about spiritually, you hocus pocus. You know, Brother Tyson, what's his name, the science guy, and all that.
Oh yeah.
You know, God. And I remember reading one time when I was a young kid, because I studied medicine ever since I was like 8, 9 years old. I lived next door to a nurse, and I used to go over her house every morning and just read medical books because I was always fascinated about the body. And then I also become fascinated about thinking and thought. But spirituality, I've come to understand, is there's no conflict. As a matter of fact, I heard a scientist once say, the one that invented rockets or God or something like that, he said, the more I learn about science, the more I believe in God. And the reason is because the continuity of understanding, you're right, Brother Ken, the body already, matter of fact, let me back up. No matter what you do in the way of healthcare or medicine or science, it always comes back to the body healing itself. Always.
Yeah.
Case in point, the COVID vaccine is designed to do what? To help the body to heal itself. Okay. Yeah. So it's never a conflict in that, but oftentimes when we're talking about it, it gets all convoluted in the conversation, and to the layperson who's not talking and thinking as differently as us, they go like, man, you know, our healthcare system's so messed up. This is caused by this, that, and the other. When it really comes down to is this, and you mentioned it, Brother Ken, when you said, I start studying, I start learning, I start looking at the ways, okay? So now we got knowledge coming in. Second thing is you took mental control of your own destiny. You decided that you would not just go by what the doctor said. Because remember, you had different opinions. You had, and I'm not trying to litigate what you just said. I'm trying to use an example of how the same thing happened with me. So you said you had a niece or net that was involved in that particular area. Then you have a doctor who, I don't know how old he was, but I'm guessing that he was older than you, and more likely he got his degree back in the 20th century, you know, like 1980, 1970, okay, maybe later. But the point being is the science, the state of science today is so far advanced from when most of our doctors received their degree. And that's why they have different specialists. When they're at practice, when you learn to be a doctor, you go through and you learn all these general things. If you see something you like, you go into it. An endocrinologist is not a urologist. He's not an ophthalmologist. So all these guys have different levels of study and expertise. If I'm a general practitioner, what I do in science, and this is part of the process. The process is that you try to reach a happy medium, because all medical help and science is experimental. Everything you take is only factual until it's not. That's why we learn and we continue to grow. We keep evolving. Oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. To your point about natural properties, and son, we talk about it all the time. The genius of our ancestors who recognized that, but they also had a connection with spirituality. So therefore, they mentally was able to understand what was happening to them physically, because they attributed to a power greater than themselves that knew. They already knew what the answer was. All we had to do is become students.
Right.
This is what happened to me recently, to the point of taking control of your own healthcare, which is different from medical science. But I'm gonna show you the comparison. My son will tell you, I've been pretty much watching my health for a while. I was wild. I did all the things like everybody talked about. Friday, I celebrated 12 years of total sobriety from everything. Okay, 12 years straight. Okay, nothing. Okay, but check this out. When I started going to the doctor and I started getting blood tests, I started getting those tests. You know, I heard you say, well, I went back to work. I did this and that. That's the mental state of how Black men in particular have approached their healthcare, because we had to work. Unless we was about falling down, we always had to keep moving. And so it was not like, you know, something that we did because we didn't care, but we had put our family's priorities above ourselves. And I had a cousin who went to a plant at 45 years old, feeling bad, sit down, dropped dead of a heart attack. Had symptoms, probably, surely. My dad died of cancer at 55 years old with the best healthcare system in the world, because he didn't go to the doctor until he couldn't swallow. So what I started learning is this. I got me a baseline. I learned what kind of tests to take. I began to watch those tests, and I started out 4 years ago, colonoscopy, good. Then I had PSA, which, by the way, gentlemen, if you don't know to ask, look at a complete blood count. Does not include a PSA. It does not include Hep C, and it does not include HIV. You have to ask for those. If you don't, you won't know. Okay, and you can carry symptoms of these things for years and don't know. This is the science. This has nothing to do with Medicare. Medical health care, the system that we all know we suffer discrimination from, that's a whole monster in itself. But if you, and this is where I get my Malcolm X idealism, is that I'm empowered to take care of myself. It's my responsibility to take care of myself, but I have to have knowledge of what I'm trying to do. So I went to the doctor, PSA rose up. Went got a biopsy, negative. kept rising, but I kept watching. Went and got an MRI, negative. Oh, by the way, long before it was popular, I went ahead and got the digital. You know, I just saw a program on TV a while ago where the guy was going on Neighbors. He said, we're going to do a colonoscopy. He was like, what? Yeah, typical in our culture. Anything that has to do with, especially the old way, wasn't happening, man. Okay.
The old way.
Fatal mistake, because they used to find out by digital. Anyway, to move forward, kind of nail this down so we can all comment.
Bro.
Last time I went up, I went to a new doctor. She said, I'm going to take another baseline on you again. 12 stick. They used to just stick you one time. Now, this is the change in science. They used to be when you got a biopsy on your prostate, they would go in and stick the hardest, biggest place, and they come back, oh, ain't nothing happening. But now they do what they call a temple. They stick you 12 times on that little organ, bro, and let me tell you, that's another story. Anyway, so, by the time you get to 78, okay, we almost done. But out of those 12, 3 of mine came back positive this time. Cancer in 3 cells out of 12. I don't know if I knew that or told you that the last time I was on the show. But now I have what they call 3 malignant cells out of 12 biopsies on my prostate. Now watch this. They don't go by stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 anymore. I'm talking about 21st century science. Now what they do is they look at it and they have what they call a Gleason scale, which tells you how aggressive they are. 2 of mine were low. 1 of them was just over the edge where they considered a little aggressive. The 20th century science on prostates, even when they knew had a cancer, is a slow growing cancer. Most of the time, they'll tell you you'll die from something else before it even hits you. Okay, this is information that the doctors of the 20th century, why are you worried about? Well, let's just wait and watch it. Okay, you watch it 10, 15 years go by. Now you're 68, 70, and guess what? You can't go to the bathroom. But had you dealt with it back that time, you see what I'm saying? So it's knowledge and procedure you got to control. So the doctor told me, he said, look, it's up to you. He showed me the scale. If you don't do nothing else, it probably won't bother you for 15 years. 15 years from now, okay, let's do it now, okay? Yeah. Now, the symptoms and so forth. So my point is this. I have since kind of evolved on what I'm doing and with my ministry. I'm learning that one of the things we have to do is, with our people in particular, is we have to face the hard question how, and by our own admission, we have been complicit with some of the reasons why we ended up where we at. Diet, lack of exercise, pushing ourselves, even the doctor we trust not listening to him, okay? Drinking, doing whatever we do. I had a woman at work today. I said, you gonna take the COVID vaccine? No, I ain't gonna take it. I ain't taking that. I don't know what it is. She gonna go out to her car and smoke a cigarette. I said, hey, look, you do know on the box it said, this will kill you. Now you trying to wait to see if I go an extra eye. But you double think, man. Okay? Right. So what we gotta do, first of all, is give ourselves a chance by, first of all, understanding what we're dealing with. And then, like I said, the healthcare industry and all that systemic racism, me and my son talked about that. We have to acknowledge that does exist. But what can we, and I'm going to surrender with this. In recovery, we have a saying called the Serenity Prayer, right? And it encapsulates almost everything. It says, God, grant me what? The serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I mean, wait a minute. It says, help me to accept the things. Give me the courage to change the things that I can, the serenity to accept the things that I can't, okay? And to be able to accept and know the wisdom to know the difference. I can take charge of my own health and I can begin to follow the plans like Brother Ken did, right? He started doing what? Listening to his spirit, listening to his body, and thinking, and guess what? He's better.
Yeah. You know what? I appreciate that. And I think what we attempted to do, I know Pat and Brother Six, when we had this conversation, one of the things that we wanted to do on this podcast is we wanted to be a voice to brothers like ourselves that, like, we're not we're not on TV. We're not those individuals, but we're regular individuals.
You're regular. I'm pretty famous.
Oh, there you go.
You regular. I told you about that. Don't put me.
Okay. So we got one real famous regular dude.
Hey, son,
Uh-huh.
before you go on, I gotta say this real quick, just so everybody know. My prognosis is 99% for total recovery.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I go
Praise be
Wednesday.
to God.
He
Yeah.
explained to me the difference between operation. I said, y'all got too many moving parts in the operation. What other y'all got to duck behind too many things.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. What else I got? I'm going Wednesday. Talk to the radiologist. I've talked to a lot of brothers and people who have went through it. Man, I'm so optimistic. I had a CAT scan show that had not left the prostate. They call it not leaving the station. So that was huge. So I'm going to take radiation and I'm going to take a hormone therapy just in case anything microscopic. I'm on a 12. I'm going right today. I started yesterday. Total sugar. You talking about sugar insulin resistant? The doctor read my numbers, man, Friday. I'm 68. No high blood pressure, no cholesterol, little stomach release, all of that. But that's accumulation of everything y'all talked about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm grateful for one day because I know that can change overnight. But I just wanted y'all to know, man, keep me in your prayers. But the prognosis is excellent.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. And I think that's what's important. I think one of the things that we want to make very popular is these conversations amongst ourselves. We want to make telling our brothers we love them and checking up on them and asking these hard questions and challenging one another on whether or not you getting checked out. And I could tell you, you know, now I just recently, like about, it's probably been a week, I went back to eating like red meat. I had a craving for a burger because I hadn't ate red meat in like, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 years, but it had been a long time. And since then I've been killing them. And I was like,
Me too.
but even before then, there were times when I stopped drinking. So I stopped drinking pop or soda for wherever you at in the region. You know, in Louisville, we say pop. Some people say soda. Some people say soda pop. You know what I mean? Or call it by whatever. Yeah, whatever you call it. I stopped a year ago.
Me too.
But I could tell at certain points, and when I went through a thing where I did a fast and I was just eating vegetables, I could tell when I ate something, my body would literally say, boy, you all toe up. And you could feel it. And it's amazing how when you start kind of monitoring some of the things that you eat, and you put in your body, when you take something that's different, your body will immediately tell you, like, it'll be like you'll start feeling funny, and you'll be like, you know what? I don't know. I gotta like, and you kind of walk it off. You get that gas, you gotta let it go. And it's like, that ain't it. And so I guess, you know, what it is that, you know, what I'm trying to relay, because I want to get all of you back into the conversation is what we're saying is that we're not anti-vaxxers, we're not anti-medicine, anti-science, because the black man and the black woman, from everything that I've read, was the genesis of all of those things. And so we can't be what was dropped in our lap. You know what I mean? What we observed. And so to be that, or to say that we're not going to do that because that's the white, like, you know, all of those different terms, like, we got to get past that, man, because we giving somebody else credit for something that we created and something that we should embrace. And I understand those things and those challenges, but I wanted to, I mean, you know, go ahead, Pat, please,
you know,
please.
There's a thing like, and I'm sure everybody's experienced this. I don't know about Brother Barlow, but I'm sure Brother Goins has, and Brother Sixty and myself, we, like with our kids, you know, you tell your kids stuff and they really don't listen to it, but somebody else tell them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my son comes to me sometimes. I got a 28-year-old son. He'll come, Dad, such told me this, and now I've got to the point where I'm saying, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, you know how many times I've told you that? But he didn't hear it from me. Point taken. We as a people have to start, for one, communicating with each other, and two, listening to each other.
Right.
All this information and stuff, I appreciate Brother Barlow and of course Brother Goins, but I've been telling y'all some of this stuff for 40 years.
Six.
Now I'm gonna put Brother Six on the spot because he's living here. We living together. You know how many times I done told him he got to watch what he's eating, and he's got, but now you hear Brother Barlow. Now he motivated. I just told him yesterday.
Six.
Let me tell you what he does though. Hold on.
You know Pat was gonna go there, right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
know he was gonna go there.
I knew that.
He go there every episode. He go there every episode.
That's why he's different. That's why he's
told him
different.
about eating and all that. Here's what he did. And this is his way of being smart. That's your opinion. That's what you think. That's your opinion. But I'm being funny.
I got you.
Seriously, we got to start listening to each other.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because
right.
sometimes people closest to us are trying to tell us something. Not only is our body telling us, but they can see outward signs of it. And sometimes people on the outside that are living with you or seeing you on a daily basis see stuff in your skin. Your skin might be clammy or shiny, or you're sweating a lot, or people see stuff that we don't see. And sometimes we don't listen to the people closest to us that love.
Yeah. Hey, you saying a mouthful. Listen, my wife was telling me 3 years ago, she said, every time you get out the shower, you get a little soap, your eyes get bloodshot. They shouldn't be that red. And I was like, and to myself, I was like, just leave me alone. I'm all right.
Right.
In 2 minutes, my eyes gonna be cleared up. So stop telling me about it. But it was a sign, right?
Yeah.
And listen, and then I had got to the point, look, this time last year, I was 327. And I had been 327 for about 3 or 4 years. Now I'm down to 240. And people asking me, you sick?
Yeah.
I said, no, I was sick at 327.
Ain't that it?
Right.
Ain't that it? Ain't that it?
245 is my comfortable weight. I'm at 330 right now.
Yeah.
I have to get down.
Yeah. And I think this is a call, not only to us, but we talk about, and Dad, you said this, oftentimes we do things with our family in mind, but check how backwards really we think. Because by not taking care of ourselves, by not seeking the help, we really are putting our family in danger, because we can check out quick and leave them on the horizon. And it's not about just about what we eat, but it's about the people and the energy that we put around us too. We got to get to a point that
mind, body, spirit.
Yeah, because sometimes we could be talking about things that are upsetting, and it's important for us as men to have those conversations where we can talk to one another, we can get those things out. But our body can't tell when you just retelling the story or if this is really happening. Right, so sometimes we got to be careful of being able to
knowledge right there, son.
Yeah. So sometimes we got to just say, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about this story. Like, let's talk about something else. So let's build. The reason why I love, sometimes with my brothers is because as educated as we are in some of the past and success that we've done, God forbid if anybody ever gets a hold of some of the messages that we send each other on a regular basis when it comes to joking. But we've known each other and we know our families. Like when we say we family, because our families are so intertwined, so we can say it and it's never malicious, but we joke. And sometimes in having that bad day or whatever, and you will see a text and somebody say something real stupid and you like, man, where did that come from? But that laughter, you know what I'm saying, is something that you need because you got to do that laughter, sometimes crying, sometimes, that meditation, those things are important. So guarding against who you have in your life, guarding against the conversations and the energy that you bring, and also what we take in are very important. And we have to be about the business now of being holistic. Like we in a war, and we need our soldiers on deck. You can't be sick. You know what I'm saying? We can't be sick.
Need you on the battlefield.
Yeah, our families. We not living a legacy to do that.
Mike, I gotta throw just one statistic out there. You know,
Go ahead, brother. Please do.
So there's a magazine article from a magazine that's called Very Well Health.
Okay.
That states, the first sentence says, Black men in the United States suffer worse health than any other racial group in America. It lists the top 10 statistics of what African American men in general pass away from. And I just want to go through those 10 real quick.
Sure.
One is heart disease is 23.7. Two, cancer, 20%. Three, get this, unintentional injuries, 7.9. 4 is homicide, 5%. 5 is stroke, 4.9. 6 is diabetes, 4.3. 7 is chronic lower respiratory disease, 3.2. 8, kidney disease, 2.6. 9, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what this is. Maybe Brother Goins can help me. I'm not even sure if I can say it right. Septicemia, SEPTICEMIA. I ain't never heard of that.
That is a version of the coronavirus, which is called septic poisoning, which is basically where your body becomes toxic.
Like your blood can be poisoned or
Blood
something
can
like
be
that.
poisoned and toxic. Yeah.
Septic.
So that's why the coronavirus is really at the base of almost all the different viruses. I was reading something today where it was talking about how what we don't even realize about viruses is that we wouldn't even reason why we live the way we are today, viruses. It's been part of it. So it's a double-edged sword, you know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw something in there real quick, what you were saying, kind of a reflection. Okay, I was just thinking about, now my mom is 86 years old. Neither one of us has ever had the flu that we know of. Neither one of us has ever had a flu shot. My mother's only thing she has now is high blood pressure, which comes a little bit with her age. And then she's had a little shingles. But other than that, she's got almost all original teeth. She basically eats everything. But my mom is a master of moderation. And one of the things she's always telling me is, Marty, you got to learn to listen to your body. And when I think about and look at her family, my grandfather lived to be in his 80s, her sisters, the ones that died were the ones that didn't listen to their body. And here's the thing, even when you look at exercise, my grandfather lived to be, but I never saw my grandfather ever drive, always walking. See what I'm saying? They were doing some of the natural things that we were thinking about. And think about ourselves back in the days when we was doing hard labor. We wasn't just doing hard labor. We was working them heart muscles and working them legs and things. So we was getting the exercise and the metabolism that we needed to burn off some of the things that we was getting. And so what the point I'm getting at is this, gets back to that thing about Daniel. See, one of the things we can look at that is not just that his health changed, but remember, if you read in that scripture, I don't know if you read in that whole scenario, it changed everybody's mentality, including the king. He's like, well, dude, he didn't set an example for us. So what I'm saying is we are always growing and learning. I was telling one of my brothers, he was talking to me, he's a imam, and he was like, well, man, I like what you said about, God empowering us. I always say at the end of my text, God empowers us. And he said, that's what we teach in Islam. I said, I guess that makes me a Muslim too then, right? Because I believe it's all on the same thing. You see what I'm saying? There's no conflict, man. We created conflict in language. We created conflict with politics, conflict in spirituality. And when we let go of all of that, it's all one smooth harmony.
Now, let me pivot, because I don't want to go too far off of what we were talking about. But conflict is healthy, and conflict is human. We like we had talked about before. When you deal in that divine nature,
right?
A thing is just is. Conflict, it just is. It's not bad or good. It is what it is, and sometimes it's needed. It's like I remember Dick Gregory talking about. He was like, if you put your dirty clothes in a washing machine, and it don't have that thing that turn,
agitate.
When you put that water out, when you put them clothes out, you just gonna have dirty, wet clothes, because you need a what? Agitator.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? You need something to agitate and to get that dirt to rich. You damn Skippy. I'm an agitator. You damn Skippy, Pat. That's exactly what I am to you. Only to you. Because it's a big brother, little brother thing. I box up, brother. I box up. But
You know, my
Yeah,
grandmother used to tell me all the time,
that's-
she'd say, boy, you make my ass ache. And I never knew it until I got older and I started dealing with you two. And then I know what she meant.
Well, you
But
know,
let me tell
they
you.
say that steel sharpens steel, and which one are you? Are you the sandpaper or are you the wood? So
No,
I never
what I
knew
know
what that meant.
Patty is, Six, this is what I know. Pat is that Negro. He is that one, because Pat said he know people
Hey,
that consider themselves and
know it.
call themselves
Barlow, how
Negro.
old are you? How old are you, Barlow?
Hey,
Out of my,
Brother Barlow, how old are you?
I'm 71.
71, 68.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding you. I'm kidding you.
Oh, I was going to say 71.
How old are you, Ken?
I'm 56.
Okay, 50.
Boy, you had me, hey, Ken, you had me really scared.
Hey, I
I'm
was thinking about
69,
that.
and I'm
Now
thinking,
he look good.
boy, he look good.
You know, I was going to roll on
I'm gonna
past.
hurry up and do
I'm
that
bragging
diet.
what kind of shape I'm in.
I'm doing that diet.
But to tell you the truth, we look good for our age, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
the point
man.
I'm making though,
Hey,
we understand
gentlemen.
that language. Y'all remember the blacks referring as Negro. That's what he's talking about.
No. But what I'm saying is,
there are people that
I
consider
don't
themselves
know nobody in 2021 that could cause themselves a Negro until you brought it up. And I'm starting to believe by the way you act that you a
Hey.
cotton picker.
Here's what
As Granddaddy Dave would say,
Hold on.
you need to get
Here's
out
what
your
I
cotton
say.
picking mind.
Hold on, let me clarify
I'm
this.
picking. That muscle.
He's a cotton picker.
Hold on, let me clarify this. Here's
Junior,
what I said.
he a cotton
Cotton
picker.
picker.
So
He a
many
cotton
titles
That was his way of
nowadays.
calling you Negro.
That's it.
I said we go by
Yeah.
so many titles nowadays. There's African Americans, there's blacks, there's this, and Negroes. And then he said, "Oh,
Color.
Wait a minute.
Negro."
Hey, brothers. Hey, listen, real quick. You know, I got a 4 a.m. call that I got to answer. The spirit wakes me up. So I'm already half hour past.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
I got a bag on out, and I just want to tell y'all, man, I love you guys, and I can't
Hey,
wait
man, love
till y'all,
you more, brother.
Much love to you too, brother.
Boy,
Come back, brother.
congratulations,
You gotta come
Ken.
back.
I will, man. You brothers keep on pushing it, and hey, peace and love to you, man. Stay healthy.
Love
Stay
you, Dad.
spiritual. All right.
I'll talk to you
Love you,
soon.
big brother. All
Brother
right.
Mark, you go?
All right. Yeah, I gotta go, man.
Teach
I'm already a half hour past my
Each one
bedtime,
teach
man.
one,
Spirit
brother.
wakes me up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I need
And
to
he
be
ain't
ready.
lying about that.
Hey, stay
He be
disciplined,
up.
brother. Stay disciplined,
Okay.
brother. Stay on it.
I will. All right.
I'll do
Stay
you.
on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All right.
Pleasure, brother.
Yeah.
Once again.
yeah, man. I get up about 4:30.
Hey,
every night.
hey,
Okay.
yeah,
What's
he
up,
does.
Six?
But look here. This is the killer, and Pat ain't learned to be a real killer. See, the real killer part of that comment made earlier, if he'd have just stayed quiet, I was already dying because it was killing me. Because it was like, man, Pat been telling me that for a long time now. Now this brother that came along and said the same thing. He must be right. But you gonna get on him and be like, I've been telling him for 100 years what to do. I'm hard-headed, but I do listen. But when somebody else comes in and tells you the same thing, that makes him more right.
It's
So now it's
confirmation.
like, okay, what do I do now, Pat?
So, bro,
It's confirmation,
Barlow,
brother.
you're not eating
And wisdom
any meat
speaks.
at all.
So for the last 3 weeks, I had some salmon yesterday. In the last 21 days, I ate some salmon yesterday. So
See, I can't eat fish though. I'm allergic to fish.
you can't eat no salmon.
Any seafood. I'm allergic to all seafood, fresh and saltwater. I can't even be around it. If I came in a room and you was cooking fish, I'd start breaking out.
Oh, okay. So you got an allergy too. So listen, but I'm 90% vegetarian. So
Wow,
I
that had to be tough. Did you eat? You ate meat prior to getting sick, right?
yeah, I had the day before. So I had a prime rib. So I went to the hospital.
I'm just sitting here thinking because I want to. Here's my problem, and I'll be brief though. I know my body.
Yep.
Brother Six is here, so we're gonna struggle with this. We're gonna fight and argue a little bit, but I've done it twice. I've lost over 60 pounds twice. So
Yeah.
I know how to lose the weight, but every time I do it, at the end of my process, my back goes out. So then when my back goes out, then I go through a period of about 6 to 8 weeks that I really can't do nothing. I barely can get out of the bed. And then I get those bad habits back and I gain it back. So this time I want to lose it in a manner that my back doesn't go out, in a more healthier way. But I don't know that I can go meat free.
But so here's so my mentality was, I'm not like some people think about it as diet. So I didn't think about it as diet. I just think about it as a lifestyle change. So I'm like, okay, I know that I shouldn't be over 300 pounds. I already know that.
I know that too.
Yeah, so I know that. So I was like, okay,
How tall are you?
I'm 6'10".
6'10"?
Yeah.
And see, I'm only 6'3", and I'm 300.
But I'm not a big frame guy. I'm a smaller frame guy. You know, I could probably hold 250 cool, but 325, 327 where I was really out of my range. And honestly, probably 6 months before I got sick, I was 325 and I was struggling to put on my church shoes. I was literally bending over and I was like losing my breath trying to put on my shoes, man. And I was like, okay, this ain't good. I had my wife picking up my shoes. So now I just said, listen, I'm gonna just change how I eat. So my program is this. I eat at 7 or right around 7
in the morning, a.m.
7 a.m. Then I eat around at noon, so 4 or 5 hours, and then I eat at 5. I don't eat after 5, but in between time, if I need something to eat, I eat like a handful of almonds, go grab another bottle of water, right? Or if I really need something to eat, I'll go get me some egg whites, right? Like I'll boil an egg and then I'll take the yolk out of it because I don't want the cholesterol. So I'll take the yolk out and I might eat 1 or 2 eggs like that. And anyway, now I've got my body accustomed to doing that. So I don't even have no hunger pains, really. I pretty much have eaten and got my weight stabilized. I played at 240, 245, 25 years ago. And I was like, I didn't even think I could get there. Look, I got remarried 10 years ago at 270 and I was working out like a dog and I couldn't get my weight under 270.
Yeah.
But I wasn't changing what I was eating. I was like, give me some more of those potatoes and some of those pork chops. Matter of fact, give me some sugar to drink. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. So,
and see, and I'm in a big frame, not as far as like gut wise, but when I was when I was a drill sergeant and in the Army, and I was at 6% or less body fat from running and working out, I was still 245.
Oh, okay. You're a good sized guy. So you ain't no little guy.
6% body fat. So I've always had that. Mike have known me for years. I've always had that square body. I ain't been muscular, but just big shoulders, big thighs. So now, but over 300 is too heavy for me, and I gotta get it down. And I'm gonna try to get to 6, and we're gonna get this weight off us.
Well, I think we should, challenge one another. I was reading something with on Black Doctors Org. I was that I follow on IG, and somebody had posted this thing about like an 80%, 20%, 80-20 thing where like during the week you this in moderations, but then like let's say on a Saturday or you pick a day and let's call it a cheat day. But you eat some things that you like to say because you got to give your body that opportunity. Some can go cold turkey, but sometimes you just you wing yourself, you give yourself. But doing that before, what I found is that as you start doing that, when you get to that cheat day, your body is like, when you think, man, I'm about to pig out, you eat one thing and then your body is like, all right, you good for the rest of the day, bro, because you can't do it. And they say at 20, it takes 21 days or 3 weeks to regulate your body. You know what I'm saying? To get to it becomes normal. Your body gets used to it, and so whatever you do, if you take it for that long period of time, it happens. And so, like we said, we just really
what I did. I cut my calories down to like, I want to say 1,200, 1,400 calories. I ate a small breakfast. Now, if I something for lunch, I only ate a salad for dinner. Or if I ate a salad for lunch and I eat something for dinner, and I cut all fried foods, I only I cut all fried foods. I cut all sodas, lemonades, tea. I only drunk water. I cut fried foods, but I exercise 3 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I cut that weight, but now I'm gonna have to try to do it without exercising 3 to 5 days because I can't get 6 weeks down the road and my back goes out.
Yeah.
And
Listen, I'm not even I exercise every day, but I don't like I'm not exercising like I play basketball. So I get up and I do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 500 squats, and 500 toe raises. I can do it in like 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, and I'm on my way. I get a little bit of sweat, but it don't take me, it ain't real. I don't exert myself too much, but it just gets my blood flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep my blood, keep my heart moving. It'll get my heart rate up a little bit, keep my blood flowing. It don't take me too much. It ain't like I need a whole bunch of weights and nothing like that. And then on the weekends, I got some weights in my basement. So I'll go in the basement and lift some weights on Saturday and Sunday. But during the day, Monday through Friday, I just do like a few physical exercises that just get my heart rate up.
Yeah.
Take a shower, go
Right.
to, yep.
The most beautiful thing, the beautiful thing about it also is once you start the process, it's a high, it's a natural high that you get.
Yeah.
You know, after that headache goes away, you get that headache, you know, when I was fasting, you get that little headache that you go through for that couple of days, and then that third day, that hunger pain hit. But once you fight through it, and you get about to that 7th or 8th day, you feel that change coming, and you start feeling good and energized, man. My point is, you really start loving yourself, and it feels good.
Yeah,
man, you just feel just so much better doing it. So it's just a matter of staying disciplined.
It is. You're right.
Just stay disciplined.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the hardest thing for some of us to do, is just staying disciplined.
well, brothers,
But we can do it.
Interesting
We can do it.
conversation.
Brothers, we can do it.
Them street lights done came on.
Yep. So everybody knows 6. What does that mean when them?
And brother Barlow, you from
When free lights
Indiana?
come on,
Are you from
Listen,
Indiana?
I'm from Hart County, Kentucky, originally.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
oh man,
I don't know what y'all did there, but in Louisville,
you better let you get away, brother.
Louisville let him get away. But look where they let him go to.
I know it. Yeah,
Look,
please.
here you go.
Oh,
Really,
all right.
really.
Now, when I say that brother, look, he sent me some bread and he was like, Mike, this go get me all kind of stuff. Notre Dame, sweatshirts, hats,
I'm about to do it
everything.
again.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let me go find it on your side. Let me go figure it out. Let me go try to get it. And I try to find stuff for him.
You brothers, them brothers on Facebook?
Yeah.
Them brothers, I'm not.
I send you the information. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. I need to get look, brother Pat. Look, we're gonna connect you. It's some Notre Dame football guys on my Facebook page, man.
Oh man, I go crazy, man.
Oh,
I'll tell you how much of a Notre Dame fan I am, Brother Barlow. I actually completed my master's. I'm working on my doctorate. I was actually going to sign up for a class. They got a doctoral level class at Notre Dame about, I think it's called interdisciplinary studies or something. I was going to take that class just to say that I had some kind of certificate or degree. But it was too
Motivation.
I'll
We
be
gonna call
honest,
that
it cost too
motivation.
much. When I got to looking at that one class cost about half of my whole doctorate program. I can't play with that.
But look,
I love Notre Dame, but I ain't got Notre Dame money.
but look, Pat, I got another, and Ken, I don't know if you know, I got another partner, Jimmy Rayford. He actually graduated. He got his undergrad. He got his undergrad at Clemson, but he got his grad degree from Notre Dame.
Okay.
And he's on one of the boards because he I forgot what board he's on, because my one of my cousins, Morgan, has got accepted to Notre Dame. And so they working on some money, because she wants to be a veterinarian. You know, she's super smart. So yeah, so we got a couple of you stupid. Well, you be
going to the right school to get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But
spent the map.
yeah, that's for sure.
But no,
We
I'll send you the
What we
information.
gonna do? What we gonna do, brother Barlow? Brother Barlow, what we gonna do is my son, my 18-year-old, who's a senior this year, he does not listen to his Uncle Pat, who was a hell of a basketball player himself. He won't listen to me as his father. He won't listen to his Uncle Mike. He's good. Maybe I don't know what to do, because I'm telling you, by listening to his Uncle Pat, he should be wanting to do something better. But you gotta keep teaching ball too. You still teach.
Well, you know what? Sometimes
You still teaching basketball, brother?
you know how we feel about Louisville sometimes. I've always said, and you know how I love about my city, but sometimes I feel like it's a spiritual, it's something on it that it's a mentality sometimes that's difficult.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Brother Six, I might have to get you to have him talk to I got a son. I got a 30-year-old son. He plays down in Argentina right now. He might connect with him closer because he's close to his age.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
You know, Ken, part of his problem is he don't have that dog. He's 6'5", probably the best player on the court, but he's passive. He wants to see everybody else do good, and then they got these dudes that don't want to pass him the ball, where they got him playing center, but technically he's a 6'5" guard.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell him, like, we was talking the other day. We met some brothers. Brother ain't seen me in 30 years, and we was talking, old stuff. And I was like, man, well, you didn't hardly score. He's like, yeah, because every time you got the ball, we didn't get it back. But that's what I'm trying to tell him. You might have to create it. You might have to get
you go get it.
Yeah.
And when you in the paint, you got to make them give you the ball. But yeah, it might be a good thing, Junior, for him to talk to his son. So maybe that wake him up.
It took. Look, my son took some lumps in basketball. To tell you the truth, and he got NBA. He got for real NBA talent, but he ain't in the NBA.
Wow.
For really for his choice, he made some bad choices, but he talk about that too. But now, I mean, he found his home in Argentina, so he down there. But he
hooping too, right?
Yeah,
I seen you post.
Yeah,
I see you post. Yeah,
that's good.
Man, that's beautiful. I appreciate it, brother.
We'll get your Facebook and stuff. And
And when y'all come up to India or something like that, next time y'all come up or this way, we have to try to get out and
we gotta
do that.
We gotta get together in person, man.
I plan on that, Mike, because my next visit to to get my checkup and stuff. I'm glad that, brother, I took all the notes on the test I need to take, and I'm about to run it down to this stick so that I can get on that. But me and Pat are planning to come to Louisville, so maybe we can wrap it up within the next.
I ain't seen my mama, man, over a year. My mama turned 80 yesterday.
Yeah. Peace to Mama Joyce.
I gotta get home, man. I know it's COVID and all that, but I gotta get home.
I understand. If I could see my mama, I would.
So we'll try to put that together. Come see y'all, Mike.
Indeed. So look, family, you know what it is when the street lights start to flicker. Your steps got to get quicker to get on that porch. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to get on that porch because the street lights
come on. You better be in the house.
Listen, you better get in that house, which means it's time to close. What you hear? What how it go down? Get in the house. So
get in the house.
Yeah, me, Pat Jr.
Michael.
That's it.
Michael.
It's it. You didn't have to ask, do you know where your kids are? Yep, they right there.
Yep,
and so we always what I want to do is six close, give your closing remarks or whatever. We send it around the horn before we close it out. You know what I mean? You got anything?
Yeah, I want to just thank all the viewers and the listeners. I want to thank the guests that were on tonight. Man, it was a pleasure meeting you, brothers, man. Really was enlightening, and I just want to thank you. For giving the information that you did, to confirm what my big brother was saying was absolutely, positively true. Indeed. And I'm living that.
Come on, you transforming.
Yeah.
All you listeners and things out there that's listening to this podcast, please, we don't judge, just our opinion. And what we thinking of and what we going through, just want to thank you.
Right there.
Close out.
Brother Pat. Yeah.
First, give all honors to Most High and our brother Reggie. I want to say rest in peace, brother. But Barlow and Brother Goins that was on. Thank you, man. That was enlightening. I love meeting you. We got to do this more, Mike. I like this. I love networking and meeting other people. This was a great time. This podcast was a really good idea, and I'm glad that we're doing this. I'm learning a lot. I'm connecting with some really good people, some really good brothers. So just stay healthy. I know sometimes we get long-winded. This is for the viewers and listeners, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes we have to go a little long to get the point across or get the message out there. So just stick in there with us, and we appreciate y'all listening and watching us. Thanks again, Brother Barlow.
Brother Barlow,
Yeah.
you got anything?
Yeah, just peace and love to all you brothers, man. It was my pleasure meeting you guys. I look forward to staying connected. Blessings to everyone on the podcast listening, man. I always tell the kids at my school, the best you can do is give your best and leave the rest to the Lord, man. So just keep giving your best, stay healthy, man, and look forward to staying connected. God bless you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
well, thank you. I second, third, and fourth the opinions of my brothers. Pops, my dad. I love them and I always appreciate it. Ken, I love you. Appreciate you coming on. My brothers, Pat, Six. It goes without saying the love and how I feel about you and our family. And we thank everybody for tuning in. For continuing to tune in and just supporting us and continue to rock with us, continue to grow with us, continue to critique us so that we can get better. And as always, before we close it out, I always like to tell you, the time is now and the week is new. And we'll have more podcasts for you. And you'll have things you like to talk about. We will too. See you later. Close it out, Sid. What time for your mind? Turn it up,
One time, y'all.